Sports fans don't take the title legend lightly, but in surf lifesaving, there's one man who redefines the word. He's Ocean Man Trevor Hendy.
Trevor Hendy is a legend.
He's like a surf god. He knows everything way in and out, perfect in the surf.
They often call him a freak.
Anybody who doesn't admire him, they need some help.
Started as a 9-year nipper. First day I was screaming, crying. I didn't want to jump in the pool for the little pool swim bit. My father pretty much made me do it, and I just loved it, never looked back. I love the energy of the ocean, I love the waves and working with it, and if you struggle or fight against it, it will nail you. I've been around for a long time, even though I'm only 28. You know, I don't think you're a legend until you die, and I'm not planning on dying just yet. I generally like to wait right till the last second before I make the move, unless of course it's big waves and then it's just everyone on their own, you know. So I like to just race very smart. I don't mind sitting back in the pack for a while. Race isn't over till the finish. I'm ready to push now. That'll be the person no one's seen for a couple of years, so I'll be full on.
In a few moments, we'll see the legend battle it out with the other prospective legends in the men's World Oceanman event at Piha, New Zealand. The inaugural World Oceanman Series Round 1, Foster's Oceanman New Zealand. The women went earlier in the day. It's now the men's turn to go at it, and there they go. It's so important in this run to get sorted out, to get to the front, to be near those leaders. A couple of our competitors really bearing down, as you can see. Absolutely incredible. A shot of Thomas Zackert from Team Europe and Tim Gare, Team USA. These guys will have to try to get to the front as fast as they can. It looks as though Craig Tulloch, yes, those are the black and white colors of one of our New Zealand wild card entrants. Throughout the series, you'll see the wild card entrants wear the black and white. Wild cards, they'll come from every country wherever the Oceanman stops. They get an invitation to race just on that day, whereas everyone you see in the colored caps is a full member of the Oceanman Series. They'll be at every event. But our current leader, Craig Tulloch, New Zealand, he's making the most of his entry today. We'll see how long he can stay in the lead. Another shot of Thomas Zackert, Team Europe. These guys really are trying to conserve energy. You'll see them running behind each other, trying to steps in the footsteps of the person in front of them. That saves between 30 and 40% energy. Our current leader, Guy Andrews, actually, as they entered the water, has veered off to the right. He's decided to take his own course. Maybe he knows something the rest of the competitors don't. But as you see our competitors wading first and now duck diving under the waves, another shot of Guy Andrews. We'll have to see if his strategy pays off. The surf has continued to build throughout the day. These guys are racing in surf almost twice as big as the women. There's a perfect example of that. Look at these waves crashing down. A shot there of our leader, Craig Hackett, a fine, fine swimmer, Commonwealth Games swimmer for Australia. Still, they've got to go under the waves, and believe me, this isn't anything like pool swimming. You'll see these guys battle these elements, these currents. There's a shot of current world champion Nathan Meyer. He's painted his face blue. That'll make our job very easy today to pick him out of a crowd. And again, a shot of 1, 2, 3, 4 huge waves breaking. It's absolutely incredible as a couple of our competitors turn around that first Foster's buoy. This swim, again, oh so important to set up the rest of your race. We've got a pack of 6 or 7, 8 guys together. Another shot of that surf. They'll try to turn this last buoy and catch one of those waves, although it's going to be very difficult all day long to see whether or not these guys can ride surf this big. It gets to be so tough when the surf gets like that. Kane Hooster now, our current leader, he is another great swimmer from Australia. But look at this, they're just going through soup right now. The water is going every different direction. There's sand being churned up from the bottom. There's about 10 different lines, and here they go. Look at this. They're all waiting. Did anyone catch it? Did anyone stay in the whitewater? It's so difficult to jump into the whitewater, and yes, we can see 1, 2, 3 heads, and it's Nathan Meyer. We talked about that blue face earlier. He puts his head down, and now his hands are out in front of him. He's body surfing that wave in. Absolutely an incredible job of body surfing. There's Kane Hoosner, our early swim leader. He was able to jump in front of the whitewater as well. It's so difficult to get your body up in front of that broken wave. Nathan Meyer first, Phil Clayton second, and that's Brad Stokes in third place, another great swimmer. He must have been on that wave as well. And there he is, the legend Trevor Hendy, sticking his tongue out at someone, and Craig Hackett, a shot of him in fifth place. So Nathan Meyer will grab his board, Phil Clayton behind him. Phil Clayton, one of the young guns, someone that everyone always looks out for in the races these days, an incredible athlete on the Uncle Toby Super Series. And Nathan Meyer, though the current world champion in board paddling extraordinaire, out in front. We'll have to see who picks the better line between the two of them, matching each other stroke for stroke. Clayton and Meyer, these guys both are no stranger to paddle boards. These boards are 10.5 feet long. They're very similar to a long surfboard. However, they're much thicker. Here we got a shot of Tim Gare, Team USA. Tim doing his transitional run, another great board paddler. He'll try to move up in the field. And there's our early leader, Craig Tulloch. He must have been hit by a number of those waves. He's very far back right now. Phil Clayton looks as though he's gotten the better of the alleys going out. But as you can see, Nathan Meyer is tucked in right behind him. He's making use of the draft that's coming off of Phil Clayton's board. He'll just sit back and he'll actually be able to conserve 30 to 40% of the energy. And there's Team Sweden, Goran Gustafsson. We'll see how he fares. But look at this out back. The waves are breaking so far out, it's going to be hard to see whether or not these guys can even hang on to their boards. They're actually going parallel to shore now, trying to get around those buoys. And in the lead of this pack right here, the man, Trevor Hendy. He strikes fear into the heart of every surf competitor. He's won about everything there is to win in the world of surf lifesaving. He really would like to put his stamp, however, on this Oceanman Series and take out this inaugural Foster's Oceanman New Zealand. But look at the gap now that the leaders have, as we see Joshua Blair, another young gun, trying to get a little wash ride. And there are our leaders again, Phil Clayton and Nathan Meyer. They'll turn that Foster's buoy. Another great shot of those swells coming in here at Piha, New Zealand. And they're matching each other again, stroke for stroke. Trevor Hendy there, about to come around the Foster's turning buoy as well. Trevor always knows when to work the swells, always knows when to put himself into contention. As we see our leaders, they get first crack at these waves, however. This is how you get rewarded. You get out in front, you get a crack at that surf line first, trying to get that free ride in, but you never can tell. We talked about that no man's land in the women's race. The same applies here. You don't want to get too far into the surf line. And there's Seiji Iinuma from Team Japan grabbing his paddleboard, about to go out. And our current leaders, look at this, 10 guys at least trying to come in, catch a wave. The ocean has gone completely flat. There aren't going to be any rides, it looks like. This is when it gets to be so difficult because you try to milk each swell for as much as possible. Phil Clayton just really going at about 15-20%, just sitting there. It's absolutely so up. But look at this, Nathan Meyer, he's popped onto a wave. This is what they were looking for. It looks as Phil Clayton as well is on the face of that wave. So they'll go back to the back of their boards. They'll sit there. They'll take the deep breaths, get that air in their lungs. But right behind them, they've got to know that there are 3 competitors on this next wave. And you notice they're popping up onto his knees. That gives you better control as you come in through the surf line, riding this white water. But they both are now up and off. Phil Clayton in on the lead, Nathan Meyer behind him. But look at these swells for some of the back markers. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Look at that. Going to the back of the boards, hanging on. That's Dwayne Ties, the oldest competitor on the World Oceanman Series. Both those guys probably feeling very lucky. And oh, geez, that was an incredible wipeout. Those were 2 of our New Zealand competitors. Now we see some of the back markers. That's Craig Tulloch now just bailing while another one of our wild card entrants. This surf is just wreaking havoc with these guys. Again, remember, these are 10.5-foot long boards made of fiberglass, very hard to control. But here's a shot of our leaders. They're now on the Oceanman kayaks. Trevor Hendy, we talked about him before, always in contention, always when there's a big swell, the man to look out for. He is one of the smarter surf competitors in the world.